Hello and welcome everybody to the Skill Bharat Samman podcast. And today we have a very special attendee. Miss, if you could please introduce yourself to the audience, it would be very great.
Hi, Shreyaan and all of you. I'm Lakshmi Krishnakumar, founder, director, Sankalp, the Open School, which caters to the needs of children with learning disabilities. With over 30 years of experience as a psychologist who dives into the fascinating depths of the minds, and as a special educator who unlocks potential, the synergy of both has enabled me lead a team of staff and students, nurturing their growth and understanding in nurturing their growth and understanding in unique and very special ways, exciting ways, I would say. That's a bit about myself.
Yeah, that's a very great introduction, ma'am. And honestly, I am very excited for this podcast. So, hello, everybody. I am your host, Shreyaan Daga. I am a young entrepreneur, started off when I was in school. Today, I'm the founder of OLL, and we're leading a team of over 130 teachers, teaching in over 600 schools across India, and teaching more than 30,000 kids daily. So, very excited to get this podcast on. My first question to you is that you are an example for all the other schools across India, because you have won the award, and we would all like to know what is it that the steps that you are taking that they can follow from you in implementing skills in their students. So, how are you doing it? What are you doing so that they can learn from you?
Okay, I think your second question was the excitement or the buzz that has been created about this, the Skill Samman, Bharat Skill Samman.
Correct.
Uh, I would, in a nutshell, I would put it as the acknowledgement or the recognition is going towards the skill-centric approach, which all educational institutions are following across across the country. Now, more so specifically in our case, which is a special education oriented, the work that I do is, as I said earlier, it's more to do with special education. So in our area of education, emphasis and focus is already there in the skill areas of reading, comprehension, math, writing, executive functioning skills like problem solving, organizing and planning, working memory, emotional self regulation, self reflection, and adaptability. All very critical skills, making students future ready and lifelong learners. Also, it helps bridge the gap between classroom learning and practical application. So I would say this is what I mean from a holistic perspective. This is what we are, what we are doing in our institution.
Right. So definitely it covers a lot of areas. One of the areas that is trending right now is everyone's talking about AI and robotics. So what are your thoughts on that? Should we teach kids that, and how is it going to how can we prepare our students, so that their jobs don't get replaced by these things?
Well, it can be done in a steady and progressive manner. See, where we're talking about such a huge population of school-going children across the country, very few children still have access to the gadgets and the devices and things like that. So I think that one has to take into consideration before. I know it's a great leap, it's a great step. Uh, but when I specify my area, or rather when I look into my area, it has to be taken with a bit of caution because everything as it is, the pandemic and the online learning has caused a lot of disruption in the picking up of skills for these children. So if you're going to introduce something like this as artificial intelligence or robotics, some of them have got severe visual spatial skills, deficits in these areas, visual spatial skills and visual processing and uh, areas like that. So I think you should tread upon it with a little bit of understanding and a kind of uh, the progress has to be a little more with more
Slow.
acceptance and understanding and of the situation of their,
Right.
because they think and learn differently,
Correct.
so that needs to be really understood, and then it can be implemented. I mean, if there is a substitute for, writing and, reading and that pure, the traditional way of, memory and looking at
Yeah.
memory and things like that. I mean, what you've learned is what you kind of, is asked for your exams, and you have to recall a lot of load is there on the memory. So if all that can be addressed, well, I mean, but it has to be done in a slow and systematic manner.
Definitely, definitely. Uh, so Miss, like, I have one more question for you on this segment is, uh, kids are starting to realize that they have to have a growth mindset, an entrepreneur's mindset. Either they go into jobs or they go start their own companies. So, what are your thoughts on that? Like, should we teach it as a skill? How can other schools implement it? How are you implementing it in your school?
This generally has to do with skill development. I would start by saying that focus has to or should shift from imparting content to skill development at the school education level itself. Okay, in my strong opinion, strengths and talent should be identified and nurtured from a very young age to build skills. The skill building starts at identifying and
Correct.
nurturing one's talent and strength. Now, if that is not there, and when you reach to a certain level and then you say you don't have skills, it doesn't make sense at all. So that has to be done. And in schools, in the regular mainstream schools, internship initiatives and projects outside schools should be encouraged to constitute a workforce which empowers students to be self-reliant and finally, boost economic growth for our country. And that's what ultimately we want. They have to become self-reliant and also contribute to the
Right.
country's development and growth. So I would look at it that way. And initiatives like Skill India Mission is actually aiming to enhance vocational training, job readiness, and entrepreneurship and all that. Sectors like, information technology, hospitality, manufacturing, they do have skill development programs to address the country's workforce, workforce needs, and also bridge the skill gap. But on the other side, as far as our space is concerned, more inclusive spaces have to be created for the neurodivergent population. The seeds are being sown here and there. Communities of educators, professionals, parents have to be collaborated with to make a difference and a positive social impact. So that that is what I mean. I would look at it.
Absolutely. Uh,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
know this is out of question, but I would like to know like your personal, a story that you have seen in your life by learning a skill that has changed your life forever, and which skill that was.
I I would personally say, I mean, I can be quite blunt and frank on this platform by saying that I think if I go back to my school days,
Yeah.
I struggled to learn, because I nobody told me that that I think and learn differently. So and then it was sheer coincidence that I ended up in this field. And while working in this area and moving forward, I have seen that, so many avenues opening up, your thinking, your processing, everything, kind of is, you've learned so much. I have
Okay.
learned so much, and that has made me a better person, I feel. So my journey that way would be, I think I'm in the right place in the right time. So I would look at it that
Absolutely.
way.
Yeah, definitely on point. The learning has got you towards the right place, the right time that you are. And uh, my let's get on to the rapid fire round. So in this, the rules are like I'll ask you a question, but you have to answer only in one word. Okay.
The
So
most unnerving part, I thought. Yeah, anyway, let me give it a try.
okay. So quickly, your students have a board exam on the same day as an international competition. Which one would you allow them to go to?
Board exam.
Okay. Second is, if you could go back to school, what would you learn in today's time?
I think I would learn to relate to people in a better way, and, pick up more friends, because I thought I was a loner when I was in school. I mean, so I would do that probably. I
Absolutely.
was
That's
more of an introvert, so probably I would kind of, if I got a chance to go back, I would, uh, you know, reach out to more people and become a little more sociable.
same here, same here. Uh, And if you had all the resources in the world, all the money, all the infrastructure, all the teachers, what would you introduce for your students?
um, if I had all the resources in the world, um, well, I would like to, like to have an infrastructure on the lines of the international standard. So I think I would I would do that.
Okay, great. And a few rapid fire questions like, do you want your students to be job creators or job seekers?
Seekers and creators, I feel, both.
Okay. Do you feel the degree is more important or the learning outcome for the kids?
Learning outcome, very important.
Absolutely. So thank you so much, Miss, for giving time on a Sunday, on your day off. You have taken time out and come for this podcast. Uh, it's been a really, really great experience talking to you, understanding that how there are such a diverse range of schools that are coming, and one of your school is one of the most unique schools that will be there, and I would love to learn a lot more about how you handle things, how you're managing such an amazing organization by your own. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Srijan. Nice talking to you, and all the best. So when is this going to be? Am I off the
I'll stop
recording?
it.